Yeah, one second. Can you see my screen? I believe so.
Yes.
All right. So it's supposed to be an interactive session. If you have any question in the course of the explanations for the class, you can just type it out in the chat, or you can raise up your hand, and I will allow you to ask your question. All right. You can also open your mic. Okay. All right. So welcome to Python Programming Masterclass. This is the second session among the sessions we have arranged and organized for March. In this session, we are going to look at Python lists, tuples, and dictionaries. In the previous session, we looked at some different data types, which includes strings, floats, and integers. So we're going to look at more, uh, like we will say, more advanced data types that you can use, and you will see how you can use them in Python. So my name is Abubakar San Ali, and I had my PhD in electrical engineering and computer science from Khalifa University in the United Arab Emirates. I specialize in building AI powered systems, and I have been a lecturer at Bayero University, Kano for almost a decade now. So the current host institution is called Casa Taura Services. It is registered and based in Sharjah Research Technology and Innovation Park in the UAE. What we do is we provide consulting services. We also provide training and workshops, as well as carry out research and development in the area and field of artificial intelligence. So, how do you get workshop resources and how do you access our videos and recordings? So, we have a platform, okay, which we develop for our students, which you can also leverage to have access to the classes and sessions which we had. So if you scan this barcode, you will be able to have access to the classes. To this app, it's free. I will send you the link in the chat. Okay, you can use this to access.
30, 40p. Okay. Below 35.
Okay, so you need your PC for this workshop. Also for the app, so far you need to use a PC. Of course, we are working on adding other parts and allowing it to be readily available on mobile. Very soon it will be available on mobile. So I will show you how you can access the recordings and also how you can access the resources. For example, the slides as well as the coding files. Okay. So I will switch to my browser and I will demonstrate that now. Okay. Welcome, Wijden. I hope I pronounced the name right. It's Wijden, right? Wijden Hamadi. Okay, so I will show you how you can access the recordings from the previous session, and you can use that also to access the current session. Normally, we upload recordings of the session within 24 hours. So the session, today's session, you'll be able to also access it within the next 24 hours on the app. Okay. All right. So once again, this is the link in the chat for those who have just joined. You can also look for our channel on YouTube. It's called Asat Academy on YouTube. You can just search for it and you will be able to see some of the videos. So if it is only the videos you want to watch, you can do that via YouTube. And if you also want to have access to the resources, which include the slides, you just come to this app and click login. You, of course, in your case, you have to sign as a learner, for example, which you can easily do. And once you sign up, it will log you in. So I already have an account, so I will just sign in. Okay. So once you sign in, you will be able to see your dashboard. And if you come here to the navigation, okay, the side navigation, you will see events recording. So if you open this one here, you will be able to see Python Masterclass March 2024. Okay. So this current one that we are doing. We had previous sessions which include uh, some AI in finance workshop. We did this in January, and in February we had a Python masterclass session. You can also watch the recordings if you are interested in how to use AI in trading or investment. We did almost 16 sessions, 1.5 hours each, and we show how you can even develop your own trading bot that can be trading automatically for you. So for this session is Python Programming Masterclass March 2024. You can open it up and you'll be able to go to event sessions. So you'll be able to see the last session. This is the last session, which was the first session. Okay, so when you open it, you'll be able to come across the video. Okay, you can watch the video, and up here you can see download session resources. You click here, you'll be able to download the content. Okay, so as you can see, this is the lecture notes, which you can be able to also have access to the slides that I am giving you. Okay, all right, is that clear? I believe this should be straightforward. Okay, so if that is clear, then we can now move to the presentation. Okay, so we will start with a quick recap of the previous session. Okay, and then we will move on to learn the new concepts that we intend to look at today. So in the previous session, we discussed how you can install Python on your computer, and we also look at how you can sign up to Colab. Colab is a Google platform. They provided it to help programmers and developers build and develop systems that are powered or based on Python. It's a cloud-based system, so we're going to use it also for this session, and you will see how I will be using it. I will also request you to send your Gmail accounts so that I will give you access to the notebook which we are going to work on. Okay. We also look at how we can define variables. So what are variables? Technically, when we talk about variables in programming, we are looking at like a container or a magic box that can have values. The value can vary from time to time depending on some things that happen to the variable. For example, if you consider your bank account as a variable, okay, your account balance could be a variable account balance. So if you look at your account balance today, maybe you have some amount of money in the account. The next day you will have maybe a withdrawal, and then your money will reduce. The following day you could maybe have some deposit, thereby increasing your account balance. So the account balance, if you call it as a variable name, then the value it is holding is changing depending on some activity that happened. Okay, either withdrawal or deposit. So that's a variable. It could have any. It could be different. Also your age. Our ages are variables. Uh, of course, age is only increased by one on every, on annually, right? We get one added to our age. So it's a variable, it's not constant, right? Name is constant. If you look at your name, for example, your name in particular could be constant, and it could also be a variable depending on the context or depending on how you look at it. All right. So these are what we call variables. And when we are trying to name variables, not like the way you are used to doing it in algebra, where you use x, y, z. Okay, you say x equals to 10, y equals to 20. Therefore, z equals to x plus y, making z to be equals to what? Equals to 30. We don't want to use such names as x, y, and z. We will prefer to be using descriptive names. So let the variable name define what that variable is actually doing and try to make it short, okay, and descriptive as possible. Also, be careful. Caps, or I say uppercase, okay, are different. If you have a variable called age in caps, it's different from age in lowercase, okay. So careful about that. So this is not the same with age. These are different, okay. And also, when we are writing names of variables, we try to avoid starting names with numbers. You cannot say, okay, 1, 2, age, You cannot have numbers. You cannot have special characters. You cannot have space in between a variable name. You cannot say A space G space E. This is not allowed. Spacing not allowed. So all this you will see in the subsequent activities. You will see that I will be using very descriptive name to define some particular entity that will be holding a value. All right. So that's a variable. We look at that. And we look at data types. Data types, we said, they come in different shapes. We have strings. Okay, these are the first ones we look at. You're like your name. Your name is what? Alphanumeric, right? It's a character. For example, my name is Abubakar. So this we call it a string. And when we are defining a string in Python, we use quotation open and quotation close. And whatever comes in between, the computer will assume it to be a string data type. Okay, so keep that in mind. So if you are going to have a greeting like how are you, where are you from, all this is considered a string. Okay, we have numbers. Okay, for example, age is my age. For example, is 3. This is a number. Okay, integers, right? This is an integer, it's a whole number. So we have a certain type of data type called an integer. We also have data types, for example, floats. Okay, for example, my height, okay, is my height. Remember, okay, I think it's 121.2, something like that. Okay, centimeters. So this is a decimal place. This we call it a float. So keep this in keep this in mind. So these are the things we look at during our previous session. So try to uh, keep this in mind while we look at the content of this session. All right. So you have looked at these strings, floats, and integers, and all of them are holding one simple value. They are holding one single value, right? Name is Abubakar, or age is 33, holding one single value. So it could be in the case that you would like to have a variable called names, names, plural, not just my name. We want to have a plural. And these names should contain all our names, all the attendees of this event. We have Rebecca, we have Wijden, we have Sarenya, all of this will become under one single variable called name. So how do we do this in Python? And this is something we will look at. And this is a list. This is called Python list. All right. So how do you do that? So a list is a collection. You have things that look the same. You want to collect them in the same place. For example, we have a variable here called friends. This is the name of the variable. And as you can see, we have 3 friends, Joseph, Glenn, and Sally. Look at the structure or the syntax. I use a square bracket to open and close this collection. And this one, because they are strings, that's why you see the apostrophes. Okay, that's why you see the apostrophes. And we use a comma to separate each item in the list. We use a comma to separate each item in the list. So that means this list of friends is what? The length of these friends, we use len of friends. If you do this, it will give you equals to 3. We have 3 friends. Okay. We have crayon, for example, also a variable. Okay, it's also a list containing 3 elements. We carry on. This is a simple, let's say, a bag. You have your carry-on bag, and inside the carry-on bag, you have three items. You have socks, you have shirt, and you have a perfume. Okay, so this is a list. All right. Let me know if this is clear. Makes sense? As I said, this is supposed to be an interactive session, so you can actually write in the chat or you can also open your mic. All right, so if this makes sense, let's move on to look at a different type of list. Okay, so this is another type of a list. Okay, the previous one is list of strings, all the elements in the list are strings. But this case is a list of numbers. We are trying to print it out. So this is called the print statement. Whenever I use print, okay, I will be able to, you know, r- get something out for the user to see. Okay, so this is what you do. For example, all these things you are seeing in Microsoft PowerPoint, it is actually printed for you so that you can be able to visualize it. As I work with PowerPoint and putting stuff, the code that is going behind the scenes is just printing the thing for the user to see. Whatever you are inputting or typing in PowerPoint is now, visible to the eyes. So the print statement is going to print whatever you pass to it. Normally we use brackets open and bracket close, and whatever we put inside is going to be printed out for the user to see. Here we are printing a list of numbers. This list contains three numbers: the number 1, the number 24, and the number 76. So unlike the previous list that contains strings, which are just like alphanumeric, this one contains only numbers. However, the next list contains what? Strings. This is strings. Okay, you can see this is a list of colors: red, yellow, blue. Okay, and a list could contain a mixture of both. As you can see here, red is a string. This is an integer, whereas 98.6 is a float. So we have everything combined. Okay, so it doesn't matter that a list has to be homogeneous; it could be heterogeneous. Not only that, a list could contain another list. Excuse me, sorry. A list could contain another list. For example, this is a list. Okay, it has one number. Then the next element in the list is a list containing two numbers. It's like having a bag and another small bag inside the same bag. So this, you can see this length of this list, the outer list is 3. It has 3 elements: element 1, element 2, and element 3. Okay, but the first one is a scalar, it's just a single number. The second one is a list, and then the third element is also a number. Okay, you can also have an empty list. An empty list is a list that doesn't contain any element. Just like your bag could be empty sometimes, a list too could be empty. So, and how do you create an empty list? You put open and closing square brackets without anything inside. So this is considered an empty list. Okay, so I hope this is clear. All right. If this is clear, then sometimes you will want to access an element in a list. Okay, it's like you have your bag and you want to what? Pick an element, you want to pick an item from your bag. How do you do that? Okay, so you have what we call index. Okay, we call it index in programming, and that is the position. For example, let's say I have this bicycles. We have 4 types of bicycles. Okay, we have Trek, we have Cannondale, Redline, and Specialized. These are types of bicycles, and I would like to know what bicycle is in the first position. Okay, in the first position, Trek. Okay, maybe you have a collection of cars, and every day you want to pick a certain car based on the day. It is the first day of the month. You want to use the first car in the list of cars you have. So how do you do that? You will just write the name of the list, which in this case is bicycles. Okay, and then you write the position. You can see here the position is 0. So when we are writing or when we are indexing, for Python, indexing starts from 0. Indexing starts from 0. So the first position is index 0. The second position is index 1. Okay. The third position will be index 2. All right. So now if I want to be able to access track, I can say print bicycle 0, and this the computer will print out track for me. Okay. We also look at some string methods which we did last time. For example, the title string method. If you give it any written alphanumeric thing, for example, name. If I said my name is Abubakar and I use lowercase, something I want to do is maybe to make sure that everything in name is what? Following a title case. Is following a title case. What does title case do? It makes your first letter in the word or in each word of the sentence to be in uppercase, right? So for example, if I said my name is Abubakar San Ali, San Ali, for example, all and I'm using lowercase for the beginning of each word, and I said the name dot title, then the computer is now going to convert this name into a proper title case. So the A will be caps, then every other thing will be lowercase, the S will be caps, lowercase, A will be caps, lowercase. Okay. So this is something we wanted to do. We said that first element, which is track, let's convert it to title case. So that means the T is going to be uppercase. That's why you see T here in caps. Let me know if this makes sense before we move to the next. All right, are we together? Awesome. Okay, so here, okay, you might want to, for example, use an element and create a message. For example, let's say I am trying to welcome you. Okay, I'm building an app that once you come, you put in your name and the app will say, welcome Rebecca, welcome Ujide. That's what the app does. It takes in your name, no matter what your name is, no matter how you write it, whether you use a mixture of lower and upper cases, and tries to format that and send you back a welcoming message. So that's something we would like to see here. So here we have something we call our list bicycles. Okay, and it contains 4 different bicycles. Okay, let's say I own these bicycles: Trek, Cannondale, Red Line, and Specialized. And I would like to write a custom or customize the message. Let's say I have an app, and I would like this app to be telling me what bicycle I want to use today. Okay, given the day. So I have this. I said, okay, let's write a message. This is a variable also called message. A variable called message. What did it do? It writes it as this. My first bicycle was A. My first bicycle was A. Then we have braces. Okay, we look at this in the previous session in detail. So these braces will allow you to incorporate a variable in your message. Okay, in the string here, my bicycle was A. So here, bicycles the title. Remember, what did we get when we did bicycles the title? We get track, that is bicycle 0. And when we use the title, the T becomes capital, right? It becomes uppercase, so we get track. So what the computer is gonna do, that's why we call this F string, format string, is gonna take this message, my first bicycle was A, okay, which is this, and then it is going to now also incorporate this bicycle 0 the title. Bicycle 0 the title is what? Track. So that's what it did here. Okay, so the computer will now be able to write it down as track. And when you have something like this, it allows you to be able to write custom messages for every day. So this is one of the features and one of the functions that you can be able to leverage in Python. Okay, Python list with these customizations. All right. So if this is clear, we are going to do some activity now. We are going to now switch to the coding platform where we can write code. Okay, so let me know if this is clear. All right. So you can send me your Gmail accounts. I can share with you the code in the environment. Okay, and that will give you access to the code, which I'm also going to be writing. And in case if you want to also do the activity together, you can also follow along. You can send your Gmail account. All right. Okay. I got one here. Okay, good. So this is called Colab. Okay. This is called Colab, Google Colab. So what do you want? What do you do? You just go to your browser and just type Google Colab. Okay, like this, and it will give you like this results. Take the second one, the one that you see with this logo CO, open it up, okay, and it will bring you to the home page of Google Colab. You can just click open Colab, and this will open this Colab for you. You can see start new notebook where you start writing, and with this you already have access directly to a Python development environment which you can use to develop so many codes in Python. It comes with different features. You will see some of them, but some of the benefits it comes with is it allows you to run your code with different types of hardware. You know, if let's say you do not have GPUs and you are trying to run a code using GPU, you can take advantage of this. These ones are also available, but you have to pay for the premium version to have access to this. So this is some of the advantages. It also supports R programming language for those who also want to do data analysis in R as well as Python. Okay. So these are some of it. It comes with this. You can see. Let me go back to this one here. You can see it comes in like cellular structure. It comes with different cells, and the cells could be either a code cell or a text cell. Okay, as you can see, I can say create a new text cell, create a new code cell, like this, stuff like that. So the text cell allows you to write some. For example, here I can say activity one. Okay, all right. So this is the first activity. I can write it. I can how to do markdown. You can do it that way. Okay, so this is the first activity we want to do today. Bold this and what have you. Okay, so this is it. Here, nothing happens. It's just a text for you to see what is expected of you or to explain the thing the code is going to do. So what is this code going to do? It's gonna run this activity. That's why. So this is a code cell. For code cells, you can say it has display. So once you write your code here, you can just click display and the environment will run the code for you and return results for you. Okay, so this is it, and let me share it with you. Okay, all right. So you'll be able to receive an email. When you click the link, the email, you will also have access directly uh, to this collab notebook. Okay, so I believe this is good enough for an overview of how to use collab. All right, so let's look at this. We have an activity here. It says store the names of a few of your friends in a list called names. Print each person's name by accessing each element in the list one at a time. Okay, so let's create it. Let's call it names, and let's write our names. Okay, we have Abubakar, we have Rebecca, and we have which then. Okay, so we have this. This is what we want to do. So we have a variable called names, and it is a list. Why did I use plural? It's always good to use plural when you are writing a list variable. If I'm just going to write my name, I will just put name. You know, it's always good to make sure you are, as we said, your variable name is descriptive of what you want to do. Okay, so we say here print each person's name by accessing each element in the list one at a time. All right, so who is the first person? Is Abubakar. So I will say print. I will open bracket like this, and then I will write names into the list. I will now put a bracket here and then put the index, which is position 0. So this line of code is going to print Abubakar for you. The next line, okay, will print Rebecca. And the last line, maybe will print with them. Okay, so we have something like this. We can run this code by clicking this, or you can do Shift Enter, and it will run the same. Now the computer will start up your instance, and then it will be able to be running codes for you. As you can see Abubakar, Rebecca, with them. Okay, so this is the first activity we're going to do. So what I want you to do, maybe if you have time also to go over what we are going to, what we treat today. If you come, you write your code. We have what we call comments. Comments are things that are not actually run by the computer. So anything you preceded it with a hash, this line of code is not going to be evaluated by the computer. It will skip it because you use the hash. So here I want you to just write your name, for example, with name, and then I want you to practice. As you can see, you run this, nothing happens. I want you, if you want to do some activity, I want you to write your name, then do your attempt here. Okay, let's say print, uh, you know, names. So you do something like this. Okay, if I come to access this file, I will be able to see, okay, this is an attempt from Wijide, and this is the code that she was able to attempt. And if you have issues, you can raise a comment here. Okay, you can say add a comment. You can put add. We are so many of us here. Okay, you can ask me, for example, do you understand this? So if you are having issues, you can do the same. Just tag me. Okay, tell me I'm having issue. Why is this not running? Okay, and based on that, you just send the comment. I will be able to see the comment. Okay, and I will be able to provide you with a response so that you will be able to resolve your issue and move ahead to the next one. All right, is that clear? Is that clear? Okay, so if this is clear, let's look at the next event. Next activity, sorry. So this is the next activity. I will do this one, and then I will leave the next one for you also to give it a try. Next one, okay? So this is the next activity. So this is activity 1.2, and what is it asking us to do is that we want to use what we have in the previous one, which is activity 1.1, okay? And based on that, we want to write a message, okay, to greet each of us. A message to greet each one of us. So how do you do that? I would like to say I have a message and I will write it in this way. I will use the F string, so I will put F and I will open and close quotations. So what message do we want to write? You know, I want to say something like this. Hello, Abubakar. Thank you for joining the Python programming session. Hope you enjoy it. See you next time. This is the message I want to write. But then I would like to make sure, let me just do it that way. Hello, Abubakar. Thank you for attending the Python programming masterclass. Okay, so this is the message I want to print. But there is something. I don't want this to be constant because now the computer, every time I write this message, it is just going to print out. Okay, I forget to put the print message. This is the variable. I want to print this variable. Okay, you can see. Hello, Abubakar. Thank you for attending the Python programming masterclass. This is not something I want to do. I want to be able to have a list, which I already have here. And as we said, a list is a collection, right? It's a collection of elements. You can copy this one, you can come here and paste it. We have this thing. So let's add another person. We got a new person who joined, Stratton. So we have this. So Stratton, you can set your Gmail account. I think I have your Gmail account, right? It seems like you joined last week, if my memory serves me right, so that you can also have access to this notebook. Yeah. If not, then please share your email. I will give you access to this as well. But let me check. No, don't have you. Okay, it's Ariana. Okay. All right. Anyways, so this is what we have, and we would like this message to be costume. So I can put braces here like this, and whatever I put now is going to be printed. If I put names like this, see what is going to be printed. So the whole list is printed out. Abubakar, Rebecca, William, Stratton. The whole list is printed out. But that's not what I want. I want to be printing, for example, in this case, Abubakar. So I will put 0 because I'm in index 0, which is position 1, right? So if I do this now, you will see, hello, Abubakar. Okay, I'm not happy. I want this to be uppercase, so I can do the dot title. This. Okay, now I'm happy. Okay, so if I want to print with 10, I will put 0, 1, 2. This is the one is in position 2. Oh, sorry. Yeah, in 2 here. Okay, you can see hello with Jane. I can do also Rebecca. This is the second position. Index 1. Can do the last one. The last one is funny. You can do it 2 ways. You can put -1 and it will give you the last one. You can see Stratton, or you can put the normal index. In this case, it's 3. We can do in that way. Okay, hello Stratton. All right. So this is the first message. So let's do it the same. Let's start with this, and let's welcome each and every one of us. There are 4 of us. So this is 0. This is 1, 2, and then 3. So let's run this. All right. Hello Abubakar. Hello Rebecca. Hello Eugene. Hello Stratton. Okay. Is that clear? So I will create a new activity for you, and I would like you to be the one to try this out. Okay? Maybe after the class, just try this out. You don't give it a try. You're on list. Okay? Let me even try it out so that try it out. Okay. All right. So please attempt this one. And as I said, when you come to attempt, use the hash and then put your name and then followed by the remaining lines of code. The computer will not evaluate this, but I will be able to use that to understand that this is an attempt from you. Okay. So if you have any issue with the code or you are not getting it right, just do the comment and tag me. I will be able to respond. That's one way. Uh, Another way you can be able to just get real time, because sometimes maybe when you send me a message, I might not be able to come across it, right? Maybe it will take me a while before I see it. So what you can do is simple. We have in the platform I've shown you. Okay, I will show you how you can also get faster real time. Okay, so we created this also for our students so that they can also be able to have real time feedback directly. Okay, so if you are signed in here, you will see learning tools on our platform. Come to learning tools, you will see assignment checker. Okay, open assignment checker, pick the course, just go with Python programming fundamentals. Okay, the problem is a code. All right, so let's put that previous activity, the one we just finished with the greetings. So we copy this, copy the question, type the question here. Okay, so then your code, you can do, just go and do screenshot, okay, quickly of your code. Use the snipping tool on your system, take a screenshot of your code. In this case, I will go and take a screenshot of my code and save it maybe in the desktop. Activity 2.4. Okay, so this is the screenshot. I saved it on my system. Okay, you can come back now to the app and upload the screenshot. Okay, let's go to the desktop. I call it activity 2.2, right? Or did I call it? Forget. Where did I save it? Documents. Aha, this one is in downloads. Okay, so I will upload it. Okay, successful, and then I will click get feedback. So the AI will analyze your code. We incorporated an AI in the system so that it will analyze the code and provides response directly or direct feedback. Okay, taking longer than expected. Okay, so your feedback is supposed to be here. I don't know why it's not showing. Okay, I will check it out why this is the case, but it's supposed to show. Maybe they did some updates on the app. Yeah. All right. So this is what we created to help you just get direct access immediately to the code, to get feedback immediately without having to wait maybe for me to reach out or respond to your comment. Okay, so if this is clear, we can move into the next part, which is how do you modify an item in the list. So let me know if the activities, everything is clear so far before we move to the next part. Thumbs up or just anything, just to indicate that this is clear. All right. So modifying elements in a list. How do you modify an element in a list? Okay. So let's look at this example. We have an element. We have motorcycles. It's a list. It contains 3 motorcycles: Honda, Yamaha, and Suzuki. We can print the whole motorcycles and we will be able to see Honda, Yamaha, and Suzuki. Let's say I want to change the first element, which is Honda. I want to change Honda. Maybe I'm swapping Honda with Ducati. I'm selling my Honda to get Ducati, or I'm just swapping it with a friend. So I'm saying motorcycle 0 is no longer Honda, but now it is what? Ducati. So I'm saying motorcycle 0 equals to Ducati. Now, if you print motorcycles, you will see that your list has changed from Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki to now Ducati, Yamaha, and Suzuki. All right. So this is how you modify elements in a list. You just indicate which element you want to change, and now assign a new value for that element, and that will replace the previous element. Okay, so this is the first thing you can do. Okay, you can change also Yamaha. Maybe you just want to change Yamaha, you want to maintain your Honda, and just Yamaha is what you want to switch with Ducati. You can say Yamaha, oh sorry, motorcycles 1 equals to Ducati, and Yamaha will be switched to Ducati. All right, so you can also add an element to a list, not just remove. You can or modify. You can add. How do you add? You use dot append method. We call it dot append. So motorcycles dot append. Initially, we started our motorcycles with empty. Let's say I do not have any motorcycle in my collection so far. Then I started to go to start purchasing. So in the first instance, I said motorcycles dot append. I write the name Honda inside brackets. Motorcycles dot append Yamaha. Motorcycles that append Suzuki. You can say motorcycles that append Ducati. Motorcycles that append whatever I want to keep appending, Harley Davidson, for example. So, and I will be able to print them. I will see them like this. So append, we call this append method. You can use it to add elements in your list. That's the first way of doing something. You can also add elements in the list using the dot insert. Dot insert. So insert is different from dot append in such a way that with dot insert you indicate the position you want to the insertion to take place. Append will add something to the end. It will be adding stuff at the end. So Honda comes first, you do append, then it adds Yamaha after Honda. You do append, you add Suzuki after Yamaha. Okay, if you do append, you can keep stacking things at the end. But for the case of insert, you will provide the position that you want to make the addition or the insertion. In this motorcycles, which is Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki, I want to make sure that in the first position here I'm adding Ducati. And that's what I did here. You can see motorcycles.insert, and the first position put Ducati for me. If I print motorcycles, I will get Ducati, Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki. All right. So that's insert. So this is how you add. So we have seen how we update and how we add. The last thing you want to do, okay, is how do you remove them? How do you remove? So if I have motorcycles, Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki, I want to remove the element that is at the first position, which is Honda. I can use the del statement, DEL, like the delete, delete. This is the short form of delete. So DEL, motorcycle 0, it will delete the first element. Honda will be killed. I will be left with Yamaha, Suzuki. So that's what delete will do. We also have the dot pop. Okay, pop, dot pop. So pop will go and take the last thing, okay, which is the last element. Just like append. Append adds things to the end. Pop will also take things at the end. If you just do pop like this without any number in between. So pop will take out Suzuki. But pop will return that. In the case of delete, it will just remove it. Gone. Honda is gone. We can't have access to this element. Okay, but for the sake of pop, in the case of pop, Suzuki is the thing that we are removing, but we can also store it in a variable. So we have a variable here, we call it last owned, which is the last owned motorcycle, is motorcycle.pop. Now I know that Suzuki is the latest motorcycle which I added to my collection. Okay, so that is something you can do sometimes, the dot pop. We have also dot remove. remove, unlike delete that you indicate the position, for remove, you can write the thing you want to remove. Okay. For example, here we have motorcycles, as for Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki, Ducati. But I have Ducati. I said Ducati is too expensive. It's too expensive. I want to remove this Ducati. So remove, you have to define which of the elements you want to remove. You tell the name, okay, the value, which is Ducati. Okay, in this case, Ducati is going to be removed. I will be left with just Honda, Yamaha, and Suzuki. Okay, so these are the three things. The del, you give it position, the thing at index 0. Okay, for pop, it will just take out the last element. For remove, you have to give it, what do you want to remove? I want to remove Honda. Not position as in this case, but rather the right element you want to remove, not the position of the element that you want to remove. The element you want to remove is what you give. Alright, so this is removing. These are the methods we use when we are trying to remove elements from our list. Is that clear? We are going to do an activity now. So let me know if this makes sense. Then we can go ahead and do the activity just like we did in the previous activity. If you have any question, please go ahead and ask. Am I moving too fast? Or too slow? Okay, explain the remove again. All right. Okay, so look at it here. Okay. Initially, we have Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki, and Ducati in our list. And we want to remove Ducati. Okay, we want to remove Ducati from the list. So I can say motorcycles dot remove. I will open bracket and close. I will put Ducati. Okay, I will put Ducati. So Ducati is going to now be removed. Okay, but look at it. If I'm going to use the del to remove this, I will just put del motorcycles, and I will put the last element, which is element 3. Okay, which is 3. So this one will also take out Ducati, and I will be left with just Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki. So look at the difference. For remove, you provide the value or the element you actually want to remove from the list. In this case, it's Ducati, so I wrote Ducati. But for del, you just indicate the index. In this is index 3. Okay? So this is the difference. Of course, I can put Ducati, or I can even, use too expensive, which is a variable. And I say too expensive in Ducati, so that here, instead of putting Ducati, I put the variable name. Okay, for the sake of, for pop, if this is your list, okay, let's say you have, I don't know if you know of queue. When you have a queue, okay, let's say you went to get, you went to McDonald's and you have a queue, you are waiting to get your order. So what happens? They do first in, first out, right? FIFO. So the first person that comes will be the first person that goes out. Okay? So this is what we call. But then we have also what we call last in, first out, LIFO. So this is what happens in stacking. Let's say you have your bag. In your bag, you are putting different things. Maybe you have books inside the bag. So the first one that goes in, if you are going to remove, which one are you going to remove? The last one that goes inside the bag, because it's the one that is on top. All right. So look at it. In the first one, let's say we have Honda. Then the next one is Yamaha. Then you have Suzuki. and then you have Ducati. So when I say motorcycles.pop, it is going to now bring the first one out, so which is going to be Ducati. Okay, so it's going to take out the last element that was added in the stack. Awesome. All right, so that's del, pop, and remove. Okay, so let's move to the activity if this is clear. Okay, so I'll create a new text. Okay, so let me call this activity 2.1. All right, so this is going to be an activity for guest list. So what is this activity saying? If you could invite anyone, living or dead, to dinner, who would you invite? Make a list that includes at least 3 people you would like to invite to dinner. Then use your list to print a message to each person, inviting them to dinner. Okay, so this is going to be a code. Okay, so let me call it guest list. Okay, so look at the way I did. Remember I said no spacing. No spacing when you are writing variable names. So I'm using underscore. You can use underscore, it's allowed. This type of way, this convention for writing variable names is called snake case. Okay, snake case. You can also do something like this with the L caps. So the beginning of each word will be a caps, So in this case, L is caps. Okay? So that one is called camel case. So the first word of the variable, of course, will be lowercase, but its subsequent words will be in uppercase. We call it camel case. So you can use each of these two conventions. I prefer the snake case. Okay, so but you can use the camel case as well. All right, so this is a guest list. So who should we invite? Okay, aha. Okay, I watch anime sometimes, so you can put Naruto. Let me see. I would like to invite Luffy. Also would like to invite, let's see, Saitama, and let's invite Goku. Okay, yeah. So we have this our guest. Oh, they asked for 3 people. So let's go with the 3, the big 3. Okay. Then use your list to print a message to each person, inviting them to dinner. Okay, this is similar to what we did last time. Let me just use a variable. Let me call it message. I'll use the F string. I will say hello, and I will put the name. Okay, gift list. Yeah, I will say 0. So I know. Let me even use apostrophe here. Welcome to my dinner. My dinner. Oh, sorry. This is not supposed to be inside. To be outside. Okay. Welcome to my dinner party. Okay. All right. So remember, inside the braces only the name. All right. So we will have this for just 0. Let's go with the just 1 and just 2. All right. So let's do this. Let's see them. Okay, I did not print. Print message. Okay, let's run this code, and you will see hello Naruto, hello Luffy, hello Goku. Welcome to my dinner party. All right. So with this now, the next activity is asking us to do more. Okay. So we are going to now add, we are going to remove, and we're going to do so many things, modify and what have you. Okay. So this one I believe is very okay. It's very easy. You are used to it because we did similar thing in the previous activity. Okay. So we have this one. We want to change the list. Okay. So you just had that one of your guests can make it to the dinner, and we need to send out a new set of invitations. We'll have to think of someone else to invite. We are going to start with the program in activity 2.2. Okay, and then we will print call at the end of the stating the name of the guest who can't make it, modify your list, placing the name of the guest who can't make it with the name of the new person you are inviting. Print a second set of invitation messages, one for each person who is still in your list. Okay, so we already have the guest list initially. Let me copy it. All right, but mind you, with Colab, right? Since I already created a variable called guest list in the same notebook and I ran this, even if I print it out here, Colab still remembers guest list. Okay, it's not that it forgot. So my copying it and bringing it here makes absolutely no difference. Okay, so I can still use it without having to copy and paste it. So in fact, let me do that. All right. So what we are saying, the first thing is we want to start with what we have and we want to print call. Uh, okay. So let's write print somebody who can't make it. Let's say, yeah, Naruto is over. Luffy is the one that likes to oversleep. So Luffy can't make it to the party. Let's add Saitama instead. Okay. So what do you do now? We can say guest list. So which method? Let's use guest list. Let's use dot remove. Let's say Luffy. Okay. Let's now print guest list. Okay. Okay, you can see Luffy can't make it to the party. Let's add Saitama instead. Now Luffy has been removed. You see, you can see Naruto and Goku are the only people left in our list. Luffy has been removed. So what do we do now? You would like to add, let's add, uh, yeah, let's add Saitama as we said. So I will say guest list dot append. I will put Saitama. Okay, I can now print guest list and see the new list. In fact, before do that, let me say we have added Saitama to the list. The new guest list is print guest list. Okay, so let's see. Aha, we have added Saitama to the list. The new guest list is Naruto, Goku, and Saitama. So we have removed Luffy. Luffy is there sleeping. Okay. So let me know if this makes sense. Is this clear? Let's move to the next. Okay, the next one I will leave it for you to give it a try. Okay, it's called more guests. We are going to add more people to the guest list. I would like to you to try it out in your previous time. All right, so now this is how you add, how you modify a list. Okay, so what the next thing? If this is clear, I'm going to go back to the next one. Point 1 or 2.2. Right out. This for you to try. All right. So the next part is sorting a list. Sometimes you want to sort your list. Okay, you want to sort it out so that it looks well sorted in alphabetical or increasing or decreasing order. That could be something you would like to do. So there are some methods that will allow you to do that. And obviously, one of the methods is called sort, S-O-R-T. Okay, you use the sort method and you can do the sorting. The sorting could be either permanent or temporary. If you want to do a temporary sorting, use the sorted function, but the sort will do a permanent sorting for you. So the moment you use the sort, that's it. You cannot go back to recover the original list order. The order has now been changed completely. Nothing you can do about it. And this is what you will do sometimes. For example, look at this example. We have four cars: BMW, Audi, Toyota, and Subaru. And we want to use the sort. Okay. So what did we do? We say cars.sort. Now we sort BMW, Audi, Toyota, and Subaru. We use the reverse equals to true. Reverse equals to true. By saying reverse equals to true, we are saying sort it alphabetically, but starting from Z. You know, Z, Y, X, and going up like that. So that's what reverse means. So if you look at it, if we are going to sort it alphabetically, of course, it will have been cars.sort, okay, and it will have been Audi first, followed by BMW, then you will have Subaru, and then lastly you will have Toyota. Okay, but now that we said reverse equals true, sorry, then Toyota came first, followed by Subaru, BMW, and lastly you have Audi. Now that you have sorted this cell, this variable cars, now that it's been sorted, you can no longer go back and get the original order, which is this one. You cannot get this one. It's now completely metamorphosed. But if you have, for example, an uh, a list that you do not want to sort completely, you can use the sorted function. Sorted function. Okay. So this is how you do it. For example, we have cars. You can print it out, and we can say sorted, and we pass cars to it. So look at the difference. Here you said sorted, then you pass cars. Sorted is a function, then you pass the list cars. Here, what do? You say cars dot sort. Okay, so this will sort your list for you. This will sort, and I said this one is permanent. But if you said sorted cars, cars is passed as a parameter to the function. Now this will be temporary. Your original order is there. You will not have it changed. So you can print it out. You can see now this is sorted. Audi came first, followed by BMW, Subaru, and then lastly Toyota. Okay. So this has sorted your list for you. And you can still print cars again and you will see the original order that you had before the sorting. But if you use cars.sort, this will be permanent. It will completely change your cars for you. Okay? So this is how you sort a list. All right. If you want to reverse, like you want to flip your list, you want to flip your list. Okay, you want to flip so that the first element becomes the last, the second becomes second to the last, the third becomes third to the last, and then the last becomes the first. You can use that dot reverse. Okay, method. Now look at cars. Cars is BMW, Audi, Toyota, and Subaru. And when we say cars.reverse, you can print it out and you will see Subaru coming first, Toyota coming second, Audi coming third, and then BMW coming last, which was the first before. So we have flipped the list. So that's what reverse does for you. You also sometimes want to know how many elements are inside your list. How many elements are inside your list? And this is a very powerful method. You will use it many times. It's called the len method. The len function. Len. It's a function, not method. It's a function, just like sorted. Len function. So what does a function do? It takes the variable. In this case, what is the variable is cars. Okay, that's the list. And it will return 4 for you. So if we add any one, let's say Benz, we add it to the list and you use the length of cars, it will return 5 instead of 4. Okay, so len does that for you. So we have reverse, we have len. So keep this in mind. These are some additional list methods that you can use to do so many things with your list. All right. So these are some activities which we would like to go and try them out. So let me know if this is clear before we move to the activity. Okay. So we have a very nice one here. So I will call this activity 3.1. Okay. So what do we want to do? We want to see the world. Okay. So what is expected of us here? So we want to, okay, think of at least 5 places in the world you would like to visit. All right. Places I would like to visit. I can do something like this. I would like to visit. This is very long for a variable name. Okay. You want to avoid a variable name this long. So what do we do? Let me just take places. Okay. Or you can say places to visit. This is fine. Okay. This is also okay. Or just places. Fine. Okay. Or I can say name of places. Okay. All right. So let's write 5 places which I would like to visit as a list. Remember, a list comes with the square brackets. So we will have the first one. Okay. Let's say I would like to visit Paris. Okay. Let's have the second one, Madrid. Like to visit Madrid. Okay. Let's go to the third one. I would like to visit, let's say, I'd like to visit California. Yeah. Okay, for example, let's say I would like to visit, okay, yeah, I'm already here, so why not? Okay, and then lastly, let's say I would like to visit Zanzibar. Okay, so these are five places which I would like to visit. All right, so let's go. So sort the locations in a list, which I did. Make sure the list is not in alphabetical order. Definitely, this list is not an alphabetical order. All right. Print your list in its original form. Let's print it out. Print places. Why did I have it too long? Let me just call it places. Okay. I want to print places. And don't worry about this printing nicely or not. Just print it out. Okay. So let's print it. Paris, Madrid, California, Dubai, Zanzibar. All right. So let's use sorted to print your list in alphabetical order without modifying the actual list. So let's do that. I will say print. We'll use the sorted function and I will put places. Okay. So now let's look at it. You can see it has sorted my list for me. C D M P Z. You know, California, Dubai, Madrid, Paris, Zanzibar. Okay. So this has been sorted for me. I can also print again my original places. You can see it. Nothing happened to it already there. You can see this is the original one with the original order. All right. So that's what we did. So now we want to also use the reverse to change the order of our list. Okay, let's use the reverse. All right. So let's say I have print places dot reverse. Okay, let's see. Okay. Oh, all right. I forget to add the element. Okay. So if you want to do the reverse, here we already do it. Okay, we can do this. You can see it came in the reverse. So you can, just like I did earlier, you can just say places dot reverse. This is a method. So now remember it has reversed it already. It was previously Paris, Madrid, California, Dubai, and Zanzibar. Then I did places dot reverse, so it reverses it to Zanzibar, Dubai, California. You know, it just flipped it. Now if I do it again, if I run again, it will reverse it back to the original order, which will be Paris, Madrid, California, Dubai, Zanzibar. Run it again, flip again, Zanzibar, Dubai, California. So this will keep flipping. The moment I run, it will just keep reversing and reversing and reversing. Okay? So this is for reverse. Alright, so what else? Finally it told us to what? Okay, return it back to its original form. Let's get it back. Paris, Madrid, California, Dubai, Zanzibar. Okay, we got it back. All right. So use the sort to change your list to its stored alphabetical order. So it is stored as it is stored in alphabetical order. So we are going to use the sort now. Remember, the sort is going to completely or permanently change our order. Okay, places the sort. Once you do this and you print, there is no going back. You print places, you will see that places will be sorted out for you with California, Dubai, Madrid, Paris, Zanzibar. You can't go back to retrieve the original places. If you print again, it will just have this. Okay. So this is for this activity. Let's go to the next one. Activity, activity 3. All right, so this is dinner list. We want to also use the same thing we have based on the people we have in the previous activity, which is the dinner list activity. Our guys that we invited, which where is it? Dinner list. Yeah, yeah. Okay, here. Yes, please. All right, and we have 2.1. Okay, so all right. So let's see. So we want to use the line to indicate the number of people which you are inviting to the dinner. Okay, so let's print guest list again. I want to see how many people I have. This now is easy because I can see it with my eyes. I have only three. Okay, so let's do this. We can say number of guests. Okay, as a variable equals to len, len of guest list. Okay, I can print. I have invited. We put number of lists, the number of guests to my dinner party. I have invited. I want to see three guests to my dinner party. That's what I want to see. Okay, so you can run this. You can see now I have invited three guests to my dinner party. Okay, I have invited three guests to my dinner party. So len will return the length of elements for you in a list. Okay, but this is what this will do for you. Okay, so the next one I will leave it for you. You can work on it. I want you to try it out. If you have any questions, you can just write it in the comments and I will do my best to address it for you if you have any issue. Okay. So I will allow you to try it. Let me put it up. So try it out. Okay. So this is the end of this activity, but there is something we like to look at, which is indexing error. Indexing error happens when you try to access an element that is not in the list. When you want to access an element that is not in the list. For example, remember we have three guests only that are coming to our dinner party. And then we end up trying to maybe ask the computer who is guest four, who is guest number four. Of course, that will be an issue because computer knows that you have only three guests, but you are asking it the impossible that who is guest number four. Check your guest list and it didn't see anything. Of course, you will have an error and it will tell you, you know what, I don't get what you are doing. So that is what we call indexing error. So you can see it, for example, here in the code. I can do that. Okay, and you will see the issue in your computer. Okay, it will tell you immediately that you know what, I don't get what you are trying to do. So let's see how this works. Okay, so let's print the code. Okay, so let's print get list number 4. Remember, we have only 3 guests. So when I put get list 3, what happens? Look at it. You will have, you see, in the line, you see an error. This we call it trace bar. And it is telling you the type of error is called index error. List index out of range. Okay, the index you put, which is 3, is out of range. out of range. It's not happy, it's out of range. So it raises this error. This is out of range. Try to avoid having this type of error when you are writing your code. Okay, so the next thing I would like us to look at is slicing a list. Okay, so what do we mean by slicing? Slicing, just like what you do when you have a cake, you take some portion of the cake, some slices of the cake. Same thing you do here. Okay, so when you have a list, let's say of names, for example, Charles, okay, Martina, Michael, Florence, Eli, and you just want to maybe send message to the first three, Charles, Martina, and Michael. How do you take the three out of the five? How do you take this slice, this portion? So what do? You write the name players, as you see here, players, and then you put the starting index, starting position. We want Charles, which is in position 0, right? Index 0. So we will take 0. And then we want to stop at what? Michael, which is at position 3 or index 2. Okay. So here we put 3 because 3 is not going to be included. So it's going to be only index 0, 1, and 2. The last element, which is 3, that you see here in the slide, it's not going to be included. So when you run this, you print this, you will see Charles, Martina, and Michael. Sometimes the first index, since it's the default, we are always defaulting to 0 on the element 1. So if we are going to take things from the first index, we do not actually have to put the 0. So only if we are maybe trying to slide from Michael to Florence, we can put index what? Index 2, and we want it to stop at index 5. So in this case, we don't want to put the 0. We can just forget it and put 4. So everything will go without a line. Another thing to look at is you might have negative in the indexes. Remember, we said earlier when you put -1, place -1, it is going to be a line. -2 Florence, and so on. Okay, -3 is going to be Michael. So when you do place -3 without the last element, okay, we are saying start from the third to the last element up to the last element. So by not including the stopping index, you are saying give me everything from this to the end. Okay, so what this one will do, it's going to give you Michael, Florence, and Eli. All right. We also have something we call the range function. Range function allows you to create a list of numbers, integers, okay, or plots. Okay, so what do you do in range? You will have the start, you will have the stop, and you will have the step. Okay, let's say we want to generate numbers from 1 to 100 in steps of 5. Okay, so I will put 1, 100, and I will put 5. Okay, steps of 5. And this is, I will just put range. So I put range. Okay, and I pass these 3 numbers, 1, 100, 5. Then I will be able, the computer will generate numbers for me, starting from 1 to 100 in steps of 5. Sometimes the step is not included. So when the step is not included, what the computer will do is to assume the default step, which is 1. So the default step is 1. So if you do not include the step, it will assume 1. So 1 to 100 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Okay, so this is all about slicing. Okay, so the next thing is copying. What if we have a list and we want to copy it? Okay, so let's say I want to copy a list and I have my list, my foods, which includes pizza, falafel, and carrot cake. And my friend also has his own lunchbox, and the food in the lunchbox of my friend are similar to the foods in my own lunchbox. So I don't have to also write my friend foods equals pizza, falafel, and carrot cake. I can just say friend foods equals to my foods, and I have to put a bracket and the 2 dots. If I just say friend foods equals to my foods, it's not gonna assume it to be correct. You have to tell AK what I want is to say friend foods equal to all the elements in my food. So by just putting the 2 dots or the column, We are saying take everything inside my puts and also create it as friend puts list. So this is gonna do exactly that. Okay. All right. So let's look at an activity where we use sliding. All right. Let's go to the corner. Okay. So this activity is trying to ask us to write a program. Okay. That is gonna be able to what we have wrote in this chapter. We want to add several lines to the program to do the following. First of all, we want to print the message. Okay, the first three items. The first three items in the list. Then use a slide to print the first three items from that program's list. Okay, then print the message three items from the middle of the list, and then use slides to print the three items from the middle of the list. And then lastly, print the message last three items in the list are, and then use a slide to print the last three items. Okay, so let's get one of our list from the previous. Okay, this is a nice one. The places, let's come to places. Okay, so we have a list of places. We're gonna write things like, okay, print the first three items in the list are, okay, we'll print, we'll put places. Okay, so since we are doing the first, I can do 0 to 3. I can do this, or I can just put 3. So let's print this and see what happens. Okay, 0 to 3, you can see Paris, Madrid, California. And if you want, as I said, since 0 is the default starting position, we can remove the 0 and you can still see Paris, Madrid, California. Okay, so we can do the same thing for the middle items. For the middle items, since the default is not 0, the middle three items. So the middle will be Madrid, California, and Dubai. Starting from the one that is at index 1, stopping at the one that is at index what? Index 4. Okay. And then the last three items. The last three items. So this will start. We can put list count 1, 2, 3, 4. So we meant California, Dubai, and Zanzibar. Okay. So this is index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So index 0 to 5. Since 5 is not going to be included, it's going to work. So we can do it this way. You can see. Sorry, I forget. It's supposed to be the last 3. So index 2. As you can see, California, Dubai, Zanzibar. I can actually remove the 5. I don't have to put it. Okay. You can see the same thing you get here. Okay, and you can also put -3. This will give you the last 3 items. California, Dubai, Zanzibar. All right. Okay, so this is the activity 5. Now let's move to the next part of the presentation. Okay, so this next part is called tuples. We are going to look at tuples. Tuples are another type of data sets. Okay, another type of data. Another type of data. We have looked at lists. Okay, then what are tuples and how are they different from lists? Tuples are like lists. They are almost the same. The only difference is, or one of the differences is that tuple, you can see we are using the normal bracket. Okay, normal parentheses instead of square brackets. And Just like we have our friends, we can say Glenn, Sally, Joseph, these are our friends. Okay, you can have tuple of what? Of integers 1, 9, and 2. You can print it out and you will see this. You can get the mark if it is what? If it is a tuple of numbers, what is the maximum in this tuple is 9. You get it printed out. So then what is the difference? Aha, so this is it. Tuples are immutable. Immutable means they cannot mutate. Let's say you have friends that you believe are going to remain your friends forever. Okay? So that means instead of it to be a list, it could be a tuple. Your friends are never going to change. You have only 5 friends, they are going to remain 5, and none of them is going to be, not your friend. So that's a tuple. So we cannot alter its contents. Okay? Just like a string 2, you cannot alter the content. For example, if this is a list 987, we can change the list that is at the element at index 2, which of course is 7. We can change it to 6 and you can print it out and you will see it becomes 986. But for string ABC, you cannot say I want to change C, which is at index 2 to D. Wrong. Same thing with tuple 543. You cannot say I want to change element at position 2 or position 3, which is index 2 to 0. Doesn't work. So you cannot alter its content. So when you are dealing with things that you do not want the user to have access to and change, use tuples. Okay? You cannot do things like sort, because when you sort, then you are changing the tuple. So you cannot do that. You cannot append, cannot add anything. You cannot reverse, flip it. We have discussed this. You cannot do all this with tuples. Okay, so why do I want to use tuples? Well, for these 3 reasons. One, tuples are more efficient. Okay, they are very efficient, they are faster, and they help you save memory. So when you are writing a code and you know that this collection of items is never going to change, then avoid using list. Use tuple to save memory. Okay, so we use them normally when we are trying to make temporary variables that we are going to just read off in a few times instead of, you know, yeah. So we also have assignment. You can make assignment. For example, we have 2 values here, x and y. We can assign values to x and values to y. Okay, we can say x equals to 4, y equals to 3 in this manner, just like you saw here. So this is something you can do with tuples. So as I said, tuples are like lists, but they are immutable. So let's do an activity also in this activity 6. Let's go to collab. Okay, so this is activity 6. So it's a buffet. You visit a restaurant that are only serving 5 basic foods. You do not want to serve anything more than 5. Okay, so we want you to think of 5 simple foods and we want to store them in a tuple. We want to try to modify to see if Python is gonna raise an alarm. It doesn't allow that. And assuming the restaurant decides to now change its menu, we want to replace 2 of the items with different foods and a line that rewrites the tuple. Okay, so what we can do here, let's call this tuple foods. Okay, remember we are going to use bracket. Let's go with pizza, fries. Okay, chicken wings. Let's go with chicken wings. Okay, fish, hamburger. Okay, so this is the only 5 they serve. So let's try to say foods. Let's try to remove burger. Okay, so that will be foods what? So the last element I can put -1, but I can count and I can put 4. Okay, the thing at index 4 is equals to, let's say salad. Okay, let's change it to salad. So let's run this and see what happens. Will Python allow it? Aha, nope, doesn't allow. Tells you tuple object does not support item assignment. Okay. So what the next thing? The next thing is for you to change the two, you will have to recreate the whole thingy. Okay. You can see print foods here. See. So how do we recreate it all? We can put, let's say, the sentence is the price. So let's change wings to chicken breast. Okay. Let's change the fish to nuggets. And then we'll have the burger. Okay. So if you are reassigning, so this is like we are overwriting the old foods completely. We are not changing one of the elements. Okay. Wait, this one, no problem. It will work. Because we are saying this foods is different from the previous foods, although this one is going to overwrite the previous one. Okay. So this is activity 6. Now let's go back to the slides and do the last part of this workshop, which is dictionaries, Python dictionaries, yet another type of data collection. So we have seen lists, we have seen tuples. Now we are going to look at dictionaries. So just like their name, okay, they are also a type of data types that try to take in, collection of data, and is the most powerful data collection in Python. They allow us to do fast database like operations. If you have used any database before, any table, you will see that dictionaries are similar. Okay, so they come with different names in different languages. If you are, let's say, working in PHP, they call them associative arrays. If you are working with Java, they call them map or properties or hash map. If you are working with C Sharp, they are called property bars. Okay, so they are all coming with different names. So what do we have and how do they differ? We have seen that tuples differ from lists because lists are mutable and tuples are not. But for lists, how does it compare with dictionary? So a list is a collection of values that stay in order. We mean they stay in order. List of friends, the first friend remains first friend. However, dictionary is just a bag of values, okay, each with its own key. So you have key and value pairs. Just like when you are dealing or reading your English dictionary, you take a word and the word serves as the key, and you see the definition of the word, that is the value of that key. Okay. So for that reason, in dictionaries, we actually do not care about order. We do not care about the index. The only index here we have is the key. Okay, so it's like the tag. We are only concerned about the tag. You can't say what the thing at position 3 or position 5. You only see what the value of the thing that has key of this value. Alright, so let's see dictionary. For example, we have horse. Okay, you have a bag and it's empty dictionary. So inside this pause now we want to add elements. Remember, initially when we have a list, what do? You will say maybe list append and we start to put things, right? Or list element 0 becomes 12. But here what we say plus money is 12. We are putting, let's say, $12 in the cost. We are putting 3 candies in the cost and 75, leaves of tissue. When you print the cost, you can see we have 12 money, tissues, and candy, 3 of them. You can see there is no order. And you want to maybe see what is the value of candy. The thing candy key. So when you put candy, pause, candy, okay, on the apostrophe, because is the key. And when you print this, it will print the value, which is 3. You can see the value is printed. You can add, if it is, let's say, number, numeric, so you can add 2 to it. So now, let's say we bought more candies and we added it to the post. Now our candy becomes 3 plus 2, which is 5. Okay. So in list, you can use the append to be adding elements. Okay, but in dictionaries, you will have to be given a key. You can't just say append 21. You have to say what is the key for that to value of 21, or the key for that value of 183, and so on. Okay. So when you are defining a key, a dictionary, you have to use key and value pair as well. Always. Chalk is 1, Fred is 42, yarn is 100. Always. And look at the braces. It comes with curly braces instead of square bracket like list, or parentheses. Okay, the normal parentheses or bracket like tuple. It comes with curly braces. When you print it, you see it like that. And when you are creating an empty dictionary, you can just use curly braces. For example, O with equals to curly braces without anything inside is what? It's an empty dictionary. So it's the same thing as saying dict, with brackets, will create an empty dictionary. Same thing for list, you can have something like this, you will create an empty list. And if you put just lst, my empty list, for example, equal my empty list equals to, and you have, let's say, a square bracket open and close without anything inside, it becomes an empty square bracket. So these are what we have. We have lists, we have tuples and dictionaries. So let's do some activity related to dictionaries. Okay, so in activity 7.1, we want to use a dictionary to store information about a person, just like what you do in a database. Okay, in database you will have a user, you have user ID, then you have columns for that user. Okay, and maybe the first column will be the first name, second name, age, and stuff like that. So that's what we are gonna do. Let's call this person dictionary. In my case, it's gonna be like this. Okay, curly braces. I'm gonna have three things like this. You're gonna have first name. Okay, as a key. In my case, my first name is Abubakar. It's like this. So the key is first name, which is always going to be like the column titles. The column titles, those are the keys. So you have first name, you have last name. Okay, in my case, that is Ali. Okay, you also have city. Okay, let's go with age. So age is more like what is integer. So I will pick my age. Okay, we have city. I will put Abuja. Okay, so this is the dictionary. We have saved this, and we would like to maybe print each piece. Can say print person first name. Okay, is something we want to print. You can also do the same again. Print person. We'll go with last name. Okay, we'll go again. Print person. Age. Let me print person city. So this will print out whatever you have. Okay, so as you can see, this is a dictionary. Okay, so we have looked at dictionaries, we've seen tuples, okay, and we have seen lists, and we have seen how each one works and the advantages and benefits of each one, where to use each one and where not to use each one. Okay, so to wrap up this session, let's summarize what we've learned so far. Okay, so we started with list. You learn how it works, how to work with the individual items in a list. You also learn how to define a list and how to add and remove elements, within the append and the remove. Okay. You also know how to sort a list permanently within the sort or temporarily within the sorted. You also know how to find the length of a list. I know how many items in a list using the len, len, and how to avoid index errors. We don't want to be indexing the list at a position that doesn't exist. We all learn about these things. When you are adding, use this append or insert. When you are removing, del pop remove. When you are sorting, you have two options, sort or sorted, and there are others like reverse and len. We also learn how to work efficiently with these elements and how to avoid these indexing errors. We looked at tuples and how they differ from lists. And lastly, we look at dictionaries, how they work with the information stored in the dictionaries, how they differ from lists and tuples. So, how do you get to workshop resources? As I have indicated in the beginning of the class, you can use our learning platform. Go there, sign up. It's free. You have not done so. And if you want, you can just use it to be able to see the videos, or you can go to YouTube. But if you want to download the resources like the lecture, not the code, you need to sign in to the app, and you go to the course and you can see the lesson, all the materials and resources for each lesson. If you need any additional assistance in terms of guidance, or you want to work on project, or you have a research study you want us to help you with, or you want to get some training in AI, machine learning, Python programming, and things that are in this area, IoT, cybersecurity, you can book a free call with me and I can help you with a free consulting services for an hour to guide you on what is the best way forward for you. Thank you for being here, and hope to see you in the next session. Bye.